Welcome back to Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a TS-5. It's the new Tier 8 turretless American premium tank destroyer. Had to mouthful that one. And it's located on the south spawn of Live Oaks under the command of Awppenheimer. Well, as you can see, there's lots of them about. I think everybody's been taking part in the marathon and they've managed to earn their TS-5 and they're now playing them. The TS-5 is a bit like the T-28 in many respects. It's got a 120mm gun with 400 alpha. But the difference is actually in the reload. The reload of this one is a lot faster than the T-28, which is about 12 seconds. And this one will reload quite a bit faster. 7.02 in fact, according to this, the graphic. But I do believe that it actually, on the books, reloads in about 8 or 9 seconds. Oh, look at that! 431 hit points of distance on an auto aim. You don't want to get in front of the pointy end if you're the enemy, because the pointy end is pretty nasty. And there's not many places that you can pen on this tank. The cupola maybe. Go for the lower plate if you can, but it's got many of the traits and characteristics of the T-28 in that it's very tough at the front but very weak at the sides and the rear. The good news is that it can be used as a trainer for the other American tank destroyers, especially the T-28, and so it's worthwhile having one. And if you've earned one during the marathon, it's well worth looking at some of the videos by the good players to see exactly how they perform. Well, we've got a Wizzy 132, an ISM, I think there's another TS-5 just around the corner, a Lerva. Well, loads of targets for Awppenheimer to take down. In fact, I think he's going to have a whale of a time. There's the barrel of a TS-5. This is where it gets really fun, because he just keeps perforating these tanks one by one. And there's a hit for 448. That's a high roll. Going around the corner. Lerva fires the round in but doesn't get a pen. Loaded. Oh, took a round there. 352. And that was a standard AP round from the Lerva. Going for the other TS-5. Well, he damaged the track, but he didn't actually track him. Just damaged him. Another TS-5 is trying to come around the side, but I think he doesn't realise that, yep, he is vulnerable. Lower plate, 386. That T-26E5 has got company. Now go for the cupola. Oh, we can't because it closed the distance and we bounced our round off the side armor. We couldn't get the cupola because the TS-5 knew that if he could hide his cupola, and we put a round through that Wizzy 132 instead. Now the TS-5 backed up and we put one round through his cupola and he's out the game. Now it looks like the other enemy, or some of the players, are firing heat ammo, because the marks on our barrel are consistent with a heat round, and that was from TS-5. Going after the ISM. One round in for 395. He's a one shot. He's gone. Now there's another TS-5 over to the left. Yeah, you can see that purple mark. That's the mark made by these mods by somebody who's firing a heat round, and it was the enemy TS-5 who decided to fire one. Bit of a mistake, because there was a visible cupola or lower plate to fire at. And the T-34 is also firing a PCR. That's a premium round, but he's now dead. Big mistake. Don't get in front of the pointy end. Well, I think for the moment he's just trying to work out where the enemy TS-5's gone. There's two of them there. He can't see them at the moment, but he can see that Lerva. Puts a round into him. 444, that's a high roll. He's now one shot. He can fire straight through that house, and yep, goodbye. Back in the garage. And the TS-5s have been located and they're behind him now. They actually went around, and now I think we're going to go through those buildings and deal with them, or we're going round behind them altogether. to give them a nasty shock when they start getting reamed by one of their own guns, or a 120mm. That is, well, that far TS-5, he's a one-shot. The other TS-5, well, he's just to the left of Awppenheimer right now. There he is, side on, one into him for 414, the high roll. He's now one shot. Now, go for the lower plate? Yes. He was trying to dance, but it didn't do him any good because Awppenheimer got the shell through and it did the biz. Okay, he's reloaded. I think this is in the bag now. There's only 3 enemy remaining. There's 8 on Awppenheimer's team, and Awppenheimer's got 5 kills already. He's well on the way to getting a Top Gun, and I think he's probably already got the high caliber. I don't think there's many players who will have 4.4k of damage at this stage of the game. It's a Panzer 58 Mutz ahead. That'll make a nice Top Gun target. I don't think he's going to auto aim though, because he's right at the back over a ridgeline. No, he had to manually aim that one, but unfortunately he just didn't get the hit. I think he's probably better approaching from this side. He's got the ridgeline in his favour. It makes it more difficult for the Mutz, but of course it means he can't get hits on the enemy while he's this side. Oh, now there's a Borsig off to his right. And the Borsig's being engaged by the Scorpion G. I just hope that he doesn't turn his gun this way, because he could end Awppenheimer's game just like that. No, I think he's got more problems. He's got a Hawk 30 and a Scorpion G after him. Oh, and that's a Top Gun. And there's the last enemy, the Panzer 58 Mutz. The Borsig was dealt with. He was killed by the UDES actually. And we're now going for that Panzer 58 Mutz. And that didn't go through. But he's been killed anyway. It was the GW Tiger P who got him in the end to finish off the battle. So 6 kills for Awppenheimer. Nice Top Gun. Possibly a high caliber. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Awppenheimer in the TS-5. In fact, it's the first ace tanker he's had in this vehicle because it's got scrolls underneath. Out of the minor medals, he picked up a fire for effect, a sharpshooter, a spotter badge, which of course we count as an epic because it obviously enabled your team to do a lot of damage, a duelist and a bruiser medal out of the minor medals. But out of the epics, he picked up a high caliber and a Top Gun, so he did do the most damage and he killed at least 6. And the win rate for that game was 6,432, which is very comfortable indeed as a super unicum level. Let's have a look at team score. There you go, top of the table, 4,579 hit points. I didn't think that anyone would actually be close to him, but in actual fact, the Scorpion G did get close. He got 3,755 hit points of damage during that game. He picked up a Confederate, and the Centurion 1 managed to get 2,084 hit points, and he picked up a Tank Sniper. The highest scorer on the enemy team was their Borsig. He got 2,272, but unfortunately he was mugged at the end by a Hawk 30 and a Scorpion G, so I don't think he was any chance that he was going to get very much more in the way of damage. But anyway, when it came to kills, it's definitely Awppenheimer again. He's got 6. Then we've got the TS-5 and the enemy team with 3, and then there's a bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, well, he's got the top in all 3 columns because he got 1,682 base experience points. The Scorpion G got 1,150, and the Hawk 30 got 836. He fired 20 rounds in that game. He got 17 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 4,579 hit points, of which 431 were at more than 300 meters. He received 6 hits from the enemy, 3 were penetrations, 3 non-penetrations. I think the penetrations were actually with the heat ammo or people who are actually aiming at his side. The non-penetrations, well, I think that those were just inexperienced players who weren't aiming for the right places. He blocked damage of 640 hit points in total. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 6 of them, and did damage assistance, I should say supporting assistance, at 1,367 hit points, which would have been appreciated by his friends, and it's earned him extra XP as well, because of course you earn half the XP of the person who does the damage to the enemy tank that you spot. On a premium count, he earned 139,398 credits from that one game alone. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and remember he did use some premium ammo during that game, but he was being fired upon by premium ammo by some of the TS-5s, he actually managed to take away a profit this is, of 60,812 credits, and that's certainly very nice indeed. He received 2 bonds for getting the high caliber and the Top Gun, and 2,523 XP, 252 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,775 experience points altogether. So very nice little ace in the TS-5, and in fact this took place about 2 weeks ago, before the TS-5s became available to play on the frontline mode. And in fact, actually, I can say that this tank is great fun on frontline. I actually did play it in one bout. I went from one end of the map to the other, capturing caps as I was going, and it was virtually impossible for the enemy to kill me, or at least they were having a great deal of difficulty. And you saw a lot of these TS-5s in battle, and about the only thing that can nail them is Arty. And unfortunately now Wargaming have decided that they're not going to give Arty the ability to play the game anymore, because we do reduced damage, reduced stun, and I think Wargaming are going to lose a huge number of players who really play Arty most of the time, because either it's the only tank that they can play, because they're either disabled, or they have they have a preference for Arty, or they're going to just lose, well, people because they're getting bored with games which don't end up like this, where you can actually win the game properly. This game did have some, I believe there were Arty in this game. At least I didn't see any. Yes, there was Arty in this game. The GW Tiger P did 1,371 hit points of damage. But you won't see Arty like that in the game any longer, because if they can't be there, they can't help you, and that means you're going to have to solve all your problems for yourself. And I know some tank drivers will like that, and some will say, oh, well, we can do without the stun. But I think there are going to be times when you're going to miss Arty being there to help you, and unfortunately you're going to lose games because of it. I know a lot of tank drivers think, yep, we can do without Arty all the time. No Arty games, yeah, they're fine. But I can tell you, Wargaming told us that those battles where there's less Arty, no Arty, or less Arty, they nearly always tend to end in draws or stalemates, or at least they end up with one side dominating the other, simply because there's no Arty to equalise. So that's my little rant over for the day. If you enjoyed watching Awppenheimer get this ace tanker, high caliber and Top Gun, please give this video a like, and I think we've got some more videos by Awppenheimer coming up very shortly, so do stay to our channel and watch them, because he certainly gives you a different way to play these tanks. Thank you.